Today I'm going to expound a bit more on the neutral bow, so I'm hoping that you've had a chance to improve on the detailing of your stance positioning, so now we can talk about the hands and how that fighting position will complement perfectly your neutral bow. Okay, so I'm going to drop back to my neutral bow once again. This time I'm going to talk about the handwork involved here, right? So my lead arm, I'm going to keep my elbow relaxed. Okay, that point it rests down close to my hip where there's really not a direct path available to strike my rib cage. So you'll have to cause my arm to lift up to expose that target, see? Okay, now the secondary aspect is the alignment. Point your fist right at the opponent's face. So in this case, I'm pointing it right at the camera. Okay, that way all you guys out there in the web world can see my fist going right at you like that. And so notice that when I punch, for example, from this position, it's very direct. Okay, so from the side view, it's kind of like having the cannon pointed ready to fire, and then bam, it shoots out. If your fist's up here, guess what? You have to line it up first and then punch. And that's what? It's another one of those and thens. It's a dirty term, guys. Don't do it. Point your fist right at the target so you can be very direct. It's almost like if you had a string tied to your wrist there and you just got pulled straight through. The shortest path between 2 points is a straight line. Remember we agreed on that before? So we'll have to stick with that logic. Okay, so now that you got your lead arm positioned properly, we have to figure out what to do with this other hand, okay? So, keep your fists closed, and I want you to keep it about a thumb distance from your elbow, okay? Okay, at that point, notice that the shoulder's relaxed here, so I don't have a lot of tension here, but it's relaxed, so I can fire my weapons with speed and precision, okay? But also very directly. Okay. The reason this is so valuable as a, as a street self-defense stylist, so to speak, is that you can protect lower targets more quickly, like your bladder and your groin. So this arm is primed and ready to block in the low zone. We have one arm ready to block in the high zone. So it's more difficult when we have two hands up here. If somebody tries to kick you in the groin, you have to go all the way from the high zone, through the middle zone, all the way down to the low zone. And for the most part, unless your reflexes are really good, you're going to be too late. So keep this arm in the middle zone so you can block in the low zone or in the high zone, okay? Although most ideally, I would just stick with a battle plan of keeping this one above and this one below if it's a fighting position where you're just squaring off in a freestyle fashion. Okay, another detail I really love about this hand positioning is the center of your body is essentially closed off. So I'm not actually showing and exposing those center targets, but I'm closing them off. Okay, now with that backhand, you might see in the camera here, you can barely see the knuckles of this fist because it's hiding behind the other arm. So that means that it can start to pick up speed and be halfway there before you even see it. And that allows for a much more sneaky punch because you're using a zone of obscurity. So you want to make sure that if you don't have to telegraph to the opponent, that you don't. Okay, from the side view, here, it goes right through the center and goes into your impact. Okay, make sure you have a good proper forward bow. Your heel should be all the way down. Toes 4 degrees. Remember to protect your groin. Keep that tension in there. And of course, make sure you breathe.